This is what happens when you're on one screen. Just- oh boy, let's see here. I just want to do this really quickly. Mm, got it. Yep, I got it, V. All right, guys, it's time. It is 12:02, so I'm actually a little late. Y'all know we like to start on time. But happy Thursday, happy Resurrection weekend. I hope everybody is feeling festive and ready for um somewhat of a long weekend. Might be a little busy, but somewhat of a long weekend for hold on 1 second. Somewhat of a holiday weekend, right? So today's conversation is the 90-day look back. 90-day look back. And so the concept, we've discussed this before, I believe once. The concept, the idea around the 90-day look back, guys, is to ensure that, and I'm just gonna get right into it. I'm just gonna get right into it today. Not doing a whole lot of fanfare introduction because I feel like I said today I didn't want to pack you guys too much. Last week was a very packed discussion, I think, using, well, the week before last, our last discussion where we talked about AI and chat GPT. And I know a lot of you are still implementing that and still trying to really figure out how to implement that. So at some point, and this is a business strategy as well, guys, at some point, you have to even though you can put a pin in a resource or idea, you have to stay focused on what you're doing, right? So you had a plan, you had something that you are in the process of implementing, you're working through that right now. Don't allow something that just pops up and like, oh, you should try this too, to completely derail what you're already working on, right? So as we come together each week, you're going to get ideas. Hopefully the ideas remain consistent, but as you go through different trainings and you talk to different people, someone's going to say to you, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. And it may be a good idea, but just consider whether or not it's something that you should capture the information, place it on the shelf to look at it later, or something you should implement right then. So again, just with the chat GPT, again, I know that it's definitely something that you should implement in some way. I don't want it to derail you guys and you just kind of abort whatever else you're working on. But again, I know that it was a lot of content and we are going to revisit some easy ways to implement it systematically, included in your marketing, and some other AI tools that you guys should consider. Okay. So today's discussion again is more of it's almost like it's almost like therapy. It's almost like agent CEO therapy, right? An opportunity for us to just kind of woosah, and really it's reflection. I want you guys to reflect on your last 90 days of business. And the goal is to determine what worked and what did not work, right? What worked, what didn't. And if it didn't work, why not? And what we should do about it, right? So let's start here. The 90-day look back requires a business plan. It requires a business plan because if not, then the look back will not be as effective. So towards the end of last year, certainly at the beginning of this year, we put together a business plan. And the business plan was supposed to identify the steps that you guys needed to take to hit your goals, right? So you had a financial goal, of course, that you ultimately, that was the major goal, a financial goal. And then you laid out steps of how you were going to hit that goal. And we know that a well-structured business plan, it's essentially a roadmap. So even if you take it very simplistically, if you were trying to reach a particular destination, what are you going to do? You're going to follow a map. It's going to say turn left, turn right, go 2 miles, turn left, go 5 miles, turn right. And so your business plan although it's not going to be that specific, go 10 miles, but it says, I have a goal to hit, to make $120,000 at the end of the year. I know that after my commission split, based upon my average sales price, I make about $10,000 per commission. And so that means I need to sell 12 properties this year, right? I need to sell 12 properties this year in order to net $120,000 this year. Your business plan can be that simple, guys. My financial goal is $120,000 net to me by the end of the year. That means, and my average commission after my split with my brokerage is $10,000. That means I need 12 transactions per year. That's one transaction per month. And then you go a step further. How are you going to get to that? How are you going to hit that transaction? How many prospects do you need to speak with? How much marketing do you need to do? How many prospects do you need to meet with in order to get to that one deal per month, which is going to get you to 12 deals per year, which is going to get you to $120,000. So that's a strategic plan that is executed accordingly. Execution, guys, is the theme of our conversation today. So we're going to assume that you already have a business plan. We're going to assume that you already have a business plan. So the 90-day look back says, I executed, I did the things that my business plans that I was supposed to do. Did you? Did you really do it? Did it? Did it work? We're having one conversation. If you did not do it, then obviously it probably did not work. Or maybe you got lucky and you hit it, but you could have did better, right? And if so, how do we address that so that for the next quarter, we do hit our goals, right? So what is business planning? Business planning outlines your strategy and financial projections. It helps you make informed decisions about execution. Remember, we talked about if we know where we're trying to go, our business plan should help us make informed decisions about how we are going to hit that goal, right? And again, guys, I'm just going to assume that you have a business plan. I'm going to assume that you have a business plan. And the key components of your business plan was what? Financial projections. What is the income goal that we're trying to hit? The budget. What are my expenses? What is the income that I need to hit in order to cover those expenses, as well as the revenue, the pay that I would like to receive at the end of the year? It's really that specific, right? What are all my expenses? My association dues, gas, marketing. Do you have a virtual assistant? Do you have monthly fees for a CRM that you use, cell phone, health insurance, all those different expenses? If you lay that out, even if you're not necessarily, we talked about, even if you're not necessarily able to cover all those yet in your business, but you know what you should include, it's well laid out, so you know where you're trying to go. So the business plan major components were your financial projections and then your marketing. Remember, I told you guys the last time that we gathered that I was going to remind you every time we got together to never take your eyes off your marketing. Never take your eyes off your funnel. You have to always be marketing. And you guys know we have our conversation, not just marketing where you just throw stuff out there and you're not really focused on whether or not you're capturing leads, whether or not you're nurturing and converting leads, right? So we know when we say marketing, we use marketing as a big word, but we know that packed in that word is the responsibility to make sure that we capture, nurture, and convert. If not, we're wasting our time and our money by just throwing stuff out there and not following up on what we put out there, right? So the last component of the business plan is self-care. Self-care. I don't want you guys to be so focused on financial, marketing, appointments, and this, that, and third, and you forget about the machine. This is the machine. This is the machine, guys. And if you burn this out, it all is for naught. So in your business plan, does it include self-care? You're tired. I know, Darren. It's quarter one and everybody is exhausted. It's quarter. I feel it. I know it. And that's why I said I'm not even going to overwhelm you guys with any more content about do this, do this, do this, do this. No. I'm not doing that today because I know it. I know you guys are overwhelmed. And when you get overwhelmed, you run the risk of not doing anything. You run the risk of not doing anything. And I do not want you guys to get to the point where you do nothing, right? You have so much going on that you do nothing. And so with your business plan, and I hope that you're not stressed out and saying, oh my God, yeah, you're exhausted. Guys, I get it. I'm telling you, everyone is exhausted. COVID exhausted everybody. COVID exhausted everybody because you were doing so much. Just it took a lot just to live, right? I always laugh at the graphic. You guys probably saw this. It's back in COVID time, it was a graphic of gosh, I think it was past President Obama with his hand on his pocket, going back towards the White House or something. The helicopter's there. He's going back towards the White House, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot my mask." Like, come on, guys. Like, come on. Like, you already had to remember your keys, your bag, your this, your that, and you had to remember your mask for 2.5 years. It's crazy. Your mask and social distancing and the mask for your kids and your family. And so I want you guys to give yourself grace and understand that you're still decompressing from all of that. Life has changed. And then you got 1,000 Zooms. I know it. You still only have 24 hours in a day. So with that being said, if you do not have self-care in your business plan, go back and put that in there. What does that mean? What are your vacation days, guys? What are your vacation days? When do you just turn it off? When do you turn it off? When do you turn it off? And when you do need to turn it off, who has your back, right? What's still going in your business? Is your marketing still at least your marketing still at least going because it's on automation, right? You have it scheduled out, right? Your VA has already scheduled it out, right? Your assistant has or your marketing person has or even you, however you look at it, right? But what are your vacation days? I understand that, Vanya. A lot of people find it hard, but I would much rather that it be on your schedule, that it be in your plan, and you look back. See, this is what we're talking about. I would much appreciate, yes, I would feel better if you at least have it in the plan. Not a problem. Like, listen, this is CEO to CEO, guys. I would much rather that you have it in the plan. And when we hit these look backs, it reminds you, oh, I was supposed to take 2 days that weekend and I didn't. I got to fix that. I got to fix that this quarter, right? So we don't let a whole year go by. That's the purpose of the 90-day look back. If it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist. Exactly. Right? So the 90-day look back. To effectuate the 90-day look back, you're just going to break your annual business plan into quarters. That's it. Again, use our thing hypothetical, and I'm using money, whatever. It was $120,000 net revenue goal. We said that it was 12 deals per year. We said that was 1 deal per month. So if we look back over our last 90-day period, we should have did 3 deals. It's that simple. I want you guys to simplify yourself, simplify your system. Because simple things create big impact. It doesn't have to be sophisticated. Simple things can create big impact. So just simplify it. Even simplify your life, but going deep in that particular revenue source, you'll find great reward. So over the 90-day period, you guys that have business plans, and again, for those of you that don't have your business plan printed out, I don't want to freak you out. Today was supposed to be a woosah huddle. I don't want to freak you out, but I do want to gently nudge you into start at least with the financial piece. We know that, again, the business plan goes even further to say, okay, well, how many contacts should I make? How many contacts should I capture, nurture, and convert? Because I pretty much see what my what my conversion rate is. So, and this is the reason why you have to track that. Yeah, yeah. So Darren said, I need to get better at scheduling and follow through on YouTube videos, showings, training, conferences, and meetings. Oh, Lord. So here's the deal, Darren. What I'll say to you, and I say this to me, and I say this all the time. I want you guys to remember this. What is most effective? What is most effective for your business? You do not have to do all the things. YouTube can be great. Yes. Showings you got to do, potentially. I mean, I would say, yeah. I mean, some of them say, well, I have showing assistance. Okay, great. If that works for you. What is my highest and best? Hey, come on, Jackie. You were saying it right as you were typing it right as I was saying it. What is your highest and best use? What is your highest and best use? Next week, I wasn't going to say it, but since y'all already pulling it out of me. Next week, our discussion is the WIN formula. You guys heard that before? WIN, what's important now? What's important now? We're going to look back on a talk we did months ago about your calendar. You only have 24 hours in a day. What's important now? Now, I'm not saying that you can't do things to duplicate yourself and assist you. I mean, I thank God for my VA. You guys see Elvia on there. Elvia has been with me for, gosh, how long have you been? Almost 10 years now, right? Elvia has been with me for almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. Oh, there you go. My virtual assistant from the Philippines. She's the truth. I have 24 hours. Elvia has 24 hours. Elvia will try and work the whole 24 hours if you let her. I have to stop her. But this is how I duplicate myself. Just small things, right? So many of you are still coming into the chat. I don't have to worry about admitting people because that's what V is there for. V has done cold calling for us. She's set appointments for us. She's done some things in title. Every project that I come up with, I say, Elvia, okay, I need you to do these things. So here again, and that's a different conversation we'll have about using virtual assistant. But my point is, I only have 24 hours. So if you only have 24 hours and you don't have an Elvia, you have to be intentional about saying, what can I do? What can I do in these 24 hours? Oh, and by the way, you do need to sleep. You do need to eat. You do need to travel. You do need to dress. You do need to do all those different things, right? You guys know I live by my calendar, right? I always say, if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? Because I only get 24 hours. And if I have to do it and I can't give it to someone else, it's saying no to something else. So over the last 90 days, January 1st to March 31st, what have you been doing that you should not have been doing? Or maybe you need to stop doing, right? So the 90-day look back, the reflection is, did you hit your targets? Did you hit your targets? Right? So using the same hypothetical, the target was 3 deals over 3 months. For Vanya, her goal next month, next 90 days might be, I don't work for 2 days on this particular holiday or this particular weekend. Did she hit it? For Darren, all these different things that are on your schedule over the next 90 days, I challenge you to look at all the things that you're doing and really determine what really moves the needle in your business. If it does not move the needle in your business, you need to let it go. Or potentially find someone else to do it. Because I assure you, you don't have to do all the things. I assure you. And this is from somebody who thinks I get 48 hours in a day and I don't. So I challenge you to be more intentional with your calendar and what you commit to. Same thing for you, Kayla. I challenge you to look at what you're doing. And by the way, I hate to tell you this. No, I love to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this before you struggle with it. This is Darren and Kayla and probably some other one of you. The thing that you do away with may be bringing you income, maybe. But maybe if you take the time that you're focusing on that particular thing and put it into the other thing that's also bringing you income, that will suffice for and match that revenue. That makes sense. All right. And again, I'm gonna tell you, I had to do that. Trying to do all the things. So if you look back over the last 90 days and you hit your targets, if your answer is yes, then stick with it. Stick with it. You guys, and I'm gonna use an example. You guys ever sign up for something? They say, well, where did you hear about us? Why do you think they asking that? Because they're trying to determine where they're gonna keep their marketing dollars. How did you hear about us? It's the same thing. They're looking at what works. They're looking at what works. Right? If you did not hit it, oh, Julia, there you go. You guys just started locked in. You're just saying it before I even go to the next slide. If no, why not? So what if you didn't hit your goal? So Julia, this is where you have to be very, very clear on your business, right? So why didn't I hit my goals? First of all, again, if I say, and oftentimes when it's your first business plan, you're speculating, you're guessing, right? So you say, oh, I need to, in order for me to close one deal per month, I need to get, let's say, and if you're, I would go both ways. I need to have 10 buyers pre-approved, 5 buyers pre-approved, and I need to have, 10 listing appointments. If you're a full-time agent, that's not hard, by the way, because pre-approval, the LO's doing that. You're just making sure that they're getting the information to the LO, just gently following up. And so if you do that, if you do get your 10 pre-approvals, you do get 10 listing appointments, because again, you know that every buyer is not going to find a property that they're interested in that month. You know that every seller that you meet with is not going to hire you. I mean, I hope that you get to a point where you're batting 100, but most of us are not perfect. And so this is how you know, what do I need to change? So let's say you are going to these 10 listing appointments, but nobody's hiring you. I would have a question about how is your delivery? How is your presentation? If you're conducting all these presentations, nobody's hiring you, I will have a question about, number one, your lead source. How good are your leads? Or how good is your listing presentation? You find yourself with issues with prospecting. That, I get it. And I'm gonna tell you, you have to look at, and this is why a lot of our content guys are going to turn to Martin. Yeah, you could. Do you have to start over? Maybe not. I wouldn't start over there. Darren, you're doing too much to throw it all out. Again, just look at what you're doing. Julia, finding yourself having issues with prospecting. Again, so then I will go deeper and say, what is the issue with prospecting? Are you nervous about marketing your business? And if so, why? And along with that, what can you do that you're comfortable with? Now, I'm not going to say we know that the most impactful marketing is what? One-on-one, face-to-face. We know that without a shadow of a doubt. 7 levels of communication. We mentioned that a long time ago. That's a book. We know that the top level of communication, there's a difference between prospecting, which is very intentional and it's one-on-one and you're in their face, versus marketing, which is general, not intentional. You're putting out information, right? So you need to do both, but look at it as your marketing is supporting your prospecting. Your marketing is supporting your prospecting. They see your name, they see your name, they see your name. So when they hear from you, they're saying, oh, I have heard of you before, right? But you can't rely on marketing alone, because marketing alone does not mean that that person is going to take the initiative to contact you. So marketing supports your prospecting. That's a whole conversation that we'll have to have throughout the year. We're never going to get off of that. We're never going to get off of that, guys. 50% of your time has to be on building your funnel. Has to be. Okay. So I wanted to I want to hit something for you guys really quick, because this, you guys know we do a daily huddle. In my office, we do a daily huddle. And in the daily huddle, we utilize and Elvia actually read today. We utilize this book by John Maxwell, and it's called The Maxwell Daily Reader. And it's about leadership. Kayla, I ain't got the time. I get that question all the time, but I don't have the time. That is not in the 24 right now. This is the
duplicate yourself.
This is the most coaching I can provide to the group right now. But we're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that. But I want to read this to you guys, because I want you guys to I wanted to share this, and V, when you read this morning, I immediately thought of this. So April 6th, today's reading was self-improvement. It says, a danger of teaching conferences or writing books like this one is that people start to assume you're an expert who has mastered everything you teach. Don't believe it. Like you, I'm still working on my relational and leadership skills. There are principles that I don't do well, so I'm still working to improve myself, and that will always be true for me. If I ever think I've finished growing, then I'm in trouble. I shared this portion of this reading with you guys to help to let you know that although I lead these conversations with you guys every week, twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, know that even I myself am still learning. I myself am still perfecting my schedule. I myself am still perfecting our marketing, our prospecting, our service delivery, right? I want you to know that even as you grow better, you're still going to continue to learn. I don't want you to beat yourself up about not being perfect. When you hit perfect, I'm concerned. If you think you've hit perfect on something, then I'm a little concerned, because generally perfection means a plateau. And when you hit a plateau, generally you stop growing, right? So I wanted to share that I didn't necessarily hit, I do the same thing. I look over the 90 days. So I wanted to share with you guys that I didn't hit my target last month. So specifically on, and it's similar to Darren, on events and meetings that were on my calendar that I did not attend. And Kayla knows this because she spoke to me last week. But most of you guys don't know this. But my family experienced 2 deaths since January in this last quarter. And that is not anything, obviously, that you can put in your schedule. And so for that reason, there were some things that had to be taken off my schedule. And there were some things that I just simply could not do. And so when I did my 90-day look back and I saw that I did not attend those meetings, did not attend those events, I understand why I did not, right? Completely out of my control, but those things that I could attend, that I did. What I want you to understand is, so one thing I can say, although I did not attend those particular meetings over the last month, we still, and most of the meetings and the events and the events were related to prospecting, marketing, right? Having a business name out there. But I will let you guys know that even though I did not attend those meetings, because of the marketing and the prospecting and the consistency of the company over the weeks before, we still hit our new lead. We still hit our new contracts number. Thank you, Marceline. We still hit our new contracts number, right? So what am I saying? I'm saying that consistency over time can oftentimes compensate for a slip, right? But you have to catch these things before they go down, before they keep going. So I can tell you that I could easily say, oh, I didn't attend those meetings. Now those meetings are off my calendar and I didn't attend them, and almost kind of get into this pattern of not getting back out and attending those meetings that are regularly on my calendar. But I'm not going to do that, because I took the time during this 90-day period to look back and see why I did not attend, and to know that it must get back on my calendar accordingly. Still perfecting that, right? So when you guys look back over these next 90 days, again, I'm not trying to freak you out if you don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan, start somewhere. If you do have a plan and you need to rework it, that's fine. Rework it. Rework it against the fact that you have 24 hours in a day. Rework it against the fact that you have other obligations. And again, of all the things that are on your list of things to do, what things are most effective for you to hit your goals in the major areas of your business plan? All right. Definitely want to, again, like you see on the screen, thank you for considering your business plan. We will continue to be here together every week to help you to achieve your goals. This is to Kayla's request. This is the extent of the coaching that I can provide. Understanding that coaching, real coaching is, I don't want to say real level of coaching, but he said 3 snaps. Understand, guys, when you guys ask for coaching, you guys have ability. If you all in your business, then that's different. But I'm not gonna do that yet. 1 second, gotta mute everybody. Somebody came in with some sound. So that's that. What do I want to tell you? So you're welcome. Do I have a lead? I do. We did that a lot. We did that a lot. Which book did you order? Darren? Oh, this one? Oh, look at you. Okay. Yes. Daily Huddle. The Daily Huddle. I need an Amazon. Oh, wait a minute now. Oh, don't play with it. It's on my list. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad, Julia. I'm glad. Julia. And oh my God, Linda. We got to move the workshop. We got to move the workshop to May 20th. So we were supposed to do April 22nd. We got to move it to May 20th. So update your calendars. We're on a kind of like a spring break. We're on a spring break this month. On that particular for the virtual workshop, but I'm super excited. About May. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a sneak preview. We're going to add to the workshop some content about investing. So for those of you that have investment clients, we're gonna add some content to that. I don't post a lot, but you guys probably know, between my husband and myself, we do a lot of. He does. I by default am involved in it. I do the design. He grabs the property. I do the design. It's an amazing book. I even got it like tabbed up, and it's dated, so you read it every day. We do a lot of flips, so we need to bring that content into our discussions for our clients, because they do need to. There's going to be some that have already purchased a home, but they should know that they should be looking to purchase their investment property. So we're going to bring that content into our discussion in May. All right.
I have a quick question for you. So being that you bringing that up, that's great information. I have clients that I'll probably send this to, but would you recommend for a young couple that aren't homeowners, would you recommend that they purchase an investment property first? Because where they're living right now, they're very comfortable, and their thought process is they could probably get an investment property, cash flow, use the cash flow to put towards their current reserves, and use that money to buy their forever home. So whether it's a a multi-family or a single family? Like, what are your thoughts on that, since you and your husband are?
They can definitely do that. My only concern is, so they're renting now.
Yes, but they're
So,
renting from their in-laws, so it's kind of like,
a wash.
yeah, they're comfortable. It's not much that they're probably paying,
Oh, because well, you kind of
and
answered
they're
the
living off
question.
of one income, so that's
Oh,
another
well, then there you
perk
go.
for them.
Yeah, you're good. So that totally cut short part of my analysis, which would have been how much are they paying for rent, and then they would have to look at how much they're paying in mortgage. So from basically what you're saying is the rent is so little that you should probably even not even look at it as an expense to them right now. And so if that is the case, then yeah, they should consider purchasing an investment property that will fund the purchase of their first home. I definitely wouldn't even say forever home, but their first home.
Agreed. Yeah,
Yeah.
because some like
And I would even too, obviously there's not as many of these available, but have them consider, that the duplex, triplex, fourplex.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
I mentioned that to them. But the thing is, when I was speaking with them, I told them that the only thing, if they go that route, buying an investment property first, the down payment, it's going to be high because it's
Yeah.
not their homestead, and they have to have the down payment plus closing costs. I'm like,
And this is why they should consider a duplex. Because with that, it would still be considered a primary residence.
but they don't. I told them if they live into it, if they live on one side, then they could rent out the other, and it would be less. Like they could still do like the traditional 3% or 3.5.
Correct.
But if they just flat out do investments, I think it's like 15% down.
Correct. It could range. It would range anywhere up to even 20%. But when it is your primary residence, yes, you could do an FHA depending upon the price point, right? And do 3.5% down and really cash flow.
Well, when that time comes, we'll definitely be closing with you. So I look forward to it.
There you go. There you go. There you go. All right, guys. Let me see.
Wait, last question. Don't leave.
No, I'm here.
Where would you